Have you tried Facebook ads in the past but are frustrated with the lack of results that you're receiving? It seems that everyone else except you is getting leads from Facebook. Well, in today's video, I break it down step by step. I share with you which type of Facebook campaign to choose, which ad set to target, and I even share with you the ad copy to use to get leads. So let's begin. Hey, it's Jaime, founder of Echo Real Estate Advisors. Welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. Today we're building a real estate Facebook ad, and we're going to go from beginning all the way to the end. The goal here is for you to implement. There's going to be some things that are new to you. It's okay. Chances are that there's another video in this channel that goes deeper into whatever issue you may be struggling with. The goal for the day, again, is for you to implement. So we're going to make this as thorough but as quick as possible so there are no excuses. You're going to see everything from the very beginning to the very end. So let's go. If you haven't run an ad recently, this is going to look a little bit different. There's some few things that have changed, but most importantly, I want to draw your attention to the middle of the screen where you're creating an ad that relates to credit, employment, and housing. Real estate, that is housing. So you're going to have to check that that's exactly what you're doing. And really what this is going to impact is the amount of selections that you have in the ad set level, where in the past you were a little bit more free to advertise to whomever you wanted, but now since you are specifically advertising for housing, there's some restrictions that I'll point out at the ad set level. So let's keep going. We're choosing our objective. As a reminder, at the left hand side you're going to see a campaign. This is the type of marketing objective that you are going after. We'll see here in a few seconds. The ad set is whom you're targeting, who you actually want to see your ads, and then the actual ad itself, the picture, the ad copy, the links will go in the ad section. It's very linear. You have the campaign, the ad set, and the ad. So right now we're selecting the objective, and I understand that my camera may be restricting a little bit of the view, but that's okay. You're going to have three main categories, which is the awareness, the consideration, and the conversion. And there's another video that I really break down all of these, what they all mean. Just know that the consideration one is really where you're prompting action from your person that you're advertising to. So that's what we're going to select. For the purposes of this ad, we're going to run a lead generation campaign. If you're trying to get started with ads and don't want to mess with landing pages, don't want to mess with a website, don't want to mess with anything different outside of Facebook, I'm going to ask you or encourage you to use lead generation. You can create lead forms within the ad set itself, so you don't have to go outside of the Facebook ecosystem and learn something different in order for you to get started with Facebook ads. So again, our goal is to take action today, and that's what we're doing by selecting the lead generation. So we're going to do lead. What type of ad do we want to run? Open house, list of homes, credit. Let's do new construction. I think I have a... I don't know if it's... Did I do that already? We're going to do new construction because that one is very, very, very good right now. I may have done that in my last Facebook Live, but for our purposes, we'll be okay. All right, so we selected the ad campaign. Now we are at the ad set. And let's spell correctly. Now we're at the ad set. This is where we're going to select who we want to see our ads. If you scroll down, you're going to get to see the Facebook page that you manage. If you don't have a Facebook page or want to run through a different Facebook page, you can actually create one directly from here. But for our purposes, I'm going to use the one that I already have, which is my company's. dynamic creative. Those, it has some pretty cool features, but we're not going to overcomplicate this. We're going to keep going. And then you get to the audience level. This is where you can select your custom audiences. In the past, this is one of those changes that has happened recently. In the past, you could have selected a lookalike audience. So as a reminder, a saved audience is a preset filters, behaviors, demographics that you have saved in the asset category. So whenever you're creating an ad set, you would save it so you don't have to go in here and select the criteria all over again. So that's the saved audience. Then you have the custom audience where you can upload your own emails. You can upload or select only people that have visited a certain page or certain people that have visited your website or engaged with your Facebook ads. That's the custom audiences. And on top of that, you had a lookalike audience. And a lookalike audience would look at the custom audience and replicate similar profiles in the Facebook world. Since you're running a housing ad, that does not apply to you today, unfortunately. A bit over a month ago, that change happened again back into the credit, the employment, and the housing type of ads. So the lookalike audiences going forward are not something that you can do. So you have to stay within the options that are given here or a custom audience. So that's one of the big changes that has happened. For our purposes, we're not going to run a custom audience. I want to share with you more of what's left to target in the cold audience world. So this is if you had a custom audience or a saved audience, this is where you would select it. And then you get to select where you want to advertise. I always go here, and instead of everyone in this location, I go with people who live in this location. So that is something that if you were to leave it at the everyone in this location, you would be attracting visitors, and you may not want that if people are coming by and hitting your ads, even though they have no intention of going or being in the area that you're targeting outside of just visiting. So we're going to go with people who live in this location. In the past, you were able to pinpoint a location within a mile. But now if you drop a pin, which I'll do here in a few seconds, if I can scroll down. If you drop a pin, you're going to find that the tightest radius that you have is 15 miles. This is another big difference than what you were able to do in the past. In the past, you were able to do 1 mile radius, but now you're limited to 15. So that's the minimum that you can do. And if you're in an urban area, you're going to find that this is going to, this could potentially pose a challenge for you. So you can see here, a 15-mile radius in the heart of the Metroplex is 2.4 million people. Unless you have a budget that wide, it's going to get challenging. So you're going to want to pay attention here in a few minutes. Another change that you're going to find, and this video is going to be plagued with changes, so just bear with me. Know that this is one of the latest changes, a huge overhaul on the Facebook front when it comes to real estate. So by you watching this video, you're going to be ahead of the game, including of some people that consider themselves gurus or professionals in the lead generation game. So just know that this is super beneficial, and some people are just waking up to it. The change before I got on my pedestal, the change that I was referencing was you used to have a little drop down arrow here that you could select to exclude a certain audience. So you could drop a pin over here and then select right here to exclude this circle. So what you would do would be hyper target a certain area to get a smaller subset. Does that make sense? So I would drop pins here and exclude whatever was in the circle to where I would only target this specific area. So you were able to drill down and really micro target the location that you were trying to farm, not so much anymore as the exclusion option is no longer there. Okay, the age, since you're doing housing, you're in the special category of housing, that is locked. Anybody above 18 years old is going to see your ads. That has the additional requirements that you put. Gender, you can't select gender. You can't select male or female. That is automatically programmed. You can still select languages, but that's something that very rarely would you do anyway, unless you are specifically targeting Spanish speakers or English speakers. But right now, that's not anything that, I mean, unless it's part of your strategy, then go ahead. But that doesn't necessarily always help us. Then detailed targeting. You're going to find that some targeting has gone away. So when it comes to personal targeting, like income, familial status, things like that, know that they're gone. Know that you're not going to be able to target that type of a clientele. So right now, I'll show you some that are still working. So let's dig in. If it has a real estate interest, that's something that I would ask you to consider. Home Depot. No, that's not it. Home improvement. Then we're going to go to suggestions. House hunting. Anything that has to do with real estate, I ask you to consider. And the way that I would suggest that you target this is not include all of the interest in ones like I have in this section. I would actually split test this. I would select the home improvement by itself, the house hunting by itself, the Zillow by itself. So that way when you're running ads, you get to see the interest that are actually producing results, that are actually producing leads. So for our purposes, I'm going to give you the top 3 that I would suggest, which are right on the screen right now. Start with these, and then start experimenting. So you have something to work from. Again, you're having to start a little bit broader, which is fine. Then I have to pause here and really encourage you to install your Facebook pixel, because going forward, it's going to be ever more important. Right now, what we're trying to do is warm up an audience. We're trying to convert a cold audience into a warm audience to where they're going to be more receptive to our message. So notice that we're a little bit broader now, and we're slowly bringing it into something more manageable, because people will start clicking on your ads and start engaging. It's at that point that you can retarget. But I'm going into a masterclass, so let me just stay on point. I don't want to take up more time than needed on this ad. Now we're getting to placements. It's at this point that I would typically suggest for you to go to the edit placements and start selecting which platforms, if you wanted to do messages, in-stream, stories, news feeds, you could select these individually here. This is where I would typically ask you to go, but for our purposes, I want you to try automatic placements. I know it says recommended, and I generally give Facebook the benefit of the doubt because it is to their benefit that we're successful, so we continue spending money. Since we are so broad at this point, the home improvement, house hunting, and Zillow, 1.7 million. You know what? Let's reduce that. So we can kind of start split testing it now. Let's go into Zillow. Even that has too many. Well, since I'm not going to be running this continuously, I'll leave it there. Know that anything real estate, again, as I mentioned, the house hunting, the Zillow, the home improvement, those are where I would ask you to start. Trulia is another subset. The only reason I'm selecting it now is because it has less amount of people to target. So we're going to go with automatic placements again. Optimize for ad delivery, which is going to optimize for leads. The cost control, it's optional. I typically don't do that because you get various average cost per lead, and I just don't want to sway it that way. I just want to start with a good size budget, good size daily budget. since it's 630,000, if I was actually marketing to those people, I would start north of $50 per day. But this is for illustrative purposes at the moment. $20 is fine. Know that you can go as little as $1 if you want, but the more that you can allocate on the front end, the more that you can invest at the daily level, then the faster the results. The faster you're going to find out what's winning, and the faster you're going to find out what's losing. So if you prioritize time, that may be an opportunity for you to spend a little bit more money to see what the results are going to be at the end of the day. And I set my run ads to run continuously. I don't set a start or end date because that will change the way that Facebook allocates my budget. So $20 a day, and for me manually checking them is fine because I'm in here every day anyway. When you will get charged: impression, ad scheduling, run all the time, delivery, recommended. Going to continue. It's a lead new construction. We're going to go single image. And then you can select right here what you want to do. We're going to go with free stock images. Just to give you, again, we are looking at implementing it. We're not going to Canva and designing our ad. We're not paying somebody on Fiverr or Upwork or a secretary or a professional designer. Right now, the goal is to act. So as you can see here, I haven't clicked outside of the Facebook ecosystem to run an ad. Let's see if there's something a bit new, a bit more construction-y. Field house. Kind of like this one. And I like that one too, but we'll go with this one. Okay, that'll work. Now we get to the actual ad copy. So there's primary text, headline, description, display link. So the primary text is what's going to go up here. Let me get that real quick. To not have to come up with ad copy on the spot, I've already have one ready to go. If you would like this exact copy, just email me. My email will be flashing in front of the screen right now if you like the exact copy that I'm using here. So notice that a lot of the things that are highlighted in this ad are benefits to the buyer. So a lot of people, when they're buying homes, they're looking at resales. And the majority of the inventory is resales, but new construction has a ton of benefits. So it's incumbent on you to pull this information or put this information in front of the buyers to really highlight the importance and benefit of new build. Again, this is a new construction ad, so that's what I'm really highlighting here. If I was doing an open house, or if I was doing a list of homes of certain amount of price, or whatever other lead magnet I was using, I would of course highlight that. But for our purposes, this is a good performing new construction ad, and so I just wanted to share that with you. New construction homes, limited time offer. All right, and this should reload for a quick second. While that's happening, I'm going to continue going. We're not going to have a display link. And then we're going to put learn more. And then down here, as you can tell, I already have a lead form or several lead forms, but we're going to create a new one just so you see what it looks like. This one I'm going to go a little bit quicker. New construction Lake Ridge. Okay. And then more volume is fine. We're going to go to settings real quick. And we are going to allow the sharing mechanism. You can see restricted, only people who are delivered your ad directly can submit this form. Your ad can be shared, and anyone can submit this form. So if you want a bit of organic reach, if people share that, if somebody that is not seeing the ad can actually submit the form. So I like to open that up and not leave it restricted for that very reason. I'm going to go back to content. More volume, because I'm not going to ask for too many features. Right now what you're doing is building a landing page of sorts. Again, we're not going over and creating a landing page or a website or anything outside of Facebook. We're keeping them here. Headline, briefly describe what people will receive. More want to see. I should have kept, well, I have it here. All right, use the image from your ad. You can upload your own image, but I like to keep it consistent so as not to confuse the people that are clicking through my ad. So I'm going to leave that. Layout, paragraph, bullets. For the sake of not making this video any longer, you can certainly play with whatever's going to go up here. I'm just going to copy and paste the ad again. For simplicity's sake, actually, I should take off the emojis because the emojis do not work well in a form. That's an emoji. Alrighty, we're gonna leave that for now. Questions, what do you want to ask? The more questions that you ask, the less amount of leads you're going to get. So just know that the more that you're asking, the less that you're going to receive. It will certainly add to your quality, but you're not looking you're not going to be getting as many in quantity. So I'm going to ask for contact fields. That's important to me. And I'm going to do that. Full name, email, phone number. That's what I want. Privacy policy. You can select any privacy policy that you have or go online and select one. Let me get mine real quick. Okay. Oops. Okay. Privacy policy. You can add additional disclaimers, but I'm not going to. Thank you. You're all set. Your info has been sent to Echo's. View now. So you can put whatever you want as far as, again, think of it as a landing page. You just, whenever they click on the form, they're going to go to whatever you just filled out. We're asking the questions, where you're displaying privacy policy, where you're providing the intro. Again, that landing page. Once they click submit, they're going to be redirected over to what you're creating right now. So you can say whatever you want. Thanks, you're all set. That's fine with me. Your info has been sent to Echo Real Estate Advisors, blah, blah, blah. Tap below to visit. And then this is where I'll put. Tap below to view pictures, floor plans, and prices. I'll put that for fun. View now. Now the website link is where you consider how you're going to deliver whatever you promised. In this ad, I promised pictures, floor plans, and prices. So all I have to do is put everything that I promised in Google Drive. So create a PDF and have it hosted on Google Drive and embed the link there. So I'm just going to put, since I haven't done it, I'll just put Google. Let me get a Google Drive link. I just put that. Okay, it didn't work. I'll just put that so we can continue. You press finish and you're ready to go. Then you select the Facebook pixel. Make sure again that you set up your Facebook pixel. I would rather you not run this ad right now, even though this ad is specifically to take action. I would much rather you not run this ad and go turn on your Facebook pixel prior to doing this, because now more than ever, it's super important for you to have tracking mechanisms and a retarget mechanism, which is what Facebook pixel is, so you can actually start getting leads on Facebook. Right now, we're warming up the audience and you're going to get leads on the first pass, but you're not going to be getting as many as you once could, because the ad set that you had running in the past was a bit more direct. You were placing it in front of people that were higher likely to act. Right now, you're filtering through the people that are not going to take action. So when people are engaging into your ads, you now have to retarget them in order for them to take action. So just know that a strategy is needed at this point. Don't let that deter you. Again, this is about taking action. And right now I can't move the screen where it's at, or else I'd press confirm. But just know that that's the last step in the equation. Again, if you would like the exact ad copy that I used in this ad today, please feel free to email me. The email address should be reflected on the screen here or in the description below. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you found value in this video today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so we can talk again soon.